is Wednesday, June 10. Welcome to CGN News. Executive Director of Jamaica's Tourism Product Development Company, TPDCO, Dr. Andrew Spencer, says sensitization sessions for the COVID-19 health and safety protocols that will be implemented for the reopening of the tourism sector have begun. The session started with hotels in Negril and St. Anne and will run until June 15 when the sector reopens. Spencer said a combination of face-to-face and virtual meetings will ensure a greater reach among its stakeholders, noting that sensitization and training will cover all the areas listed in the required protocols, including accommodation, attractions, craft shops, cruise ports, airports, among other contact points. In the next few days, the sessions will target workers within hotels, villas and guest houses, transportation, tours, car rental, craft traders, shops, and on Monday, June 15, attractions, beaches and water sports. He pointed out that as the country prepares for reopening, the workers of the industry are of utmost importance. CARICOM has sent congratulations to St. Kitts incumbent Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris on the resounding victory in the general elections held on Friday. CARICOM Chairman and Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, said the overwhelming nature of the triumph at the polls indicates the scale of confidence that the people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis have in the ability of the party to guide them to a secure and prosperous future. She also congratulated the citizens of the Twin Island Federation on the smooth and peaceful conduct of the poll in spite of the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. In Friday's poll, the Team Unity coalition led by Harris recorded a decisive 9-seat victory. According to Harris, the electoral outcome is a clear indication that the policies and programs introduced over the last 5 years had a positive impact on the lives of all citizens and residents. In Trinidad, the Ministry of Health issued guidelines for places of worship. All places of worship will reopen on Thursday in time for Corpus Christi. The ministry said the guidelines apply to all places of worship and religious services and all services and activities including weddings, funerals and wakes. It said it is the responsibility of heads of religious organizations to communicate the guidelines to their members or congregants via announcements, signs, bulletins, websites and social media. The head of the religious organization is required to ensure all staff members are trained on the health and sanitization guidelines. Religious institutions must limit congregating to no more than 2 days a week. Each service must not exceed 60 minutes. Where there are multiple services, there should be no less than 45 minutes between each service to allow for sanitization and cleaning of facilities. The head of the inter-religious organization, through their respective religious bodies, will provide continuous assessment and reporting to the Chief Medical Officer on the implementation of the guidelines through continuous site visits and inspection of the places of worship. The ministry added self-regulation is recommended to ensure the strict adherence to these guidelines in order to reduce the threat and mitigate the risk of spread of COVID-19. Overseas now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has assured Jewish settlers that he is going ahead with plans to begin annexing parts of the occupied West Bank next month. Netanyahu told a group of settler leaders that Donald Trump's Middle East plan allowing the annexation has not been finalized. But Netanyahu said that once a final map is agreed upon with the Americans, he will present it to settler leaders individually. Annexation of West Bank land has long been a dream of the Israeli settler movement. Despite what is widely viewed as a pro-Israel plan, some settlers have voiced concern that Trump's initiative doesn't go far enough. They note that many settlements would be turned into isolated enclaves surrounded by Palestinian territory. They also reject the U.S. offer to recognize Palestinian statehood, albeit with far less land and far less authority than the Palestinians seek. Netanyahu and much of his nationalist base are eager to move ahead with annexation, especially with Trump facing shaky re-election prospects in November. The presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden has said that he opposes annexation. The proposal also faces opposition in Israel, where many fear that annexation is a step that could lead to the creation of a single binational state with the Palestinians. Tanzania's president is again claiming the country is free of the coronavirus because of the power of prayer 6 weeks after his government stopped publicly updating virus data. President John Magufuli declared that COVID-19 has been removed by the powers of God. He praised the congregation for not wearing face masks amid cheers from the faithful. He has warned that masks not approved by the government could be infected with the virus. Tanzania's number of COVID-19 cases has stuck at 509 for 6 weeks as health officials, opposition figures, and some neighboring countries worry that cases in the East African nation continue to climb. Opposition figures have estimated that cases could be in the tens of thousands. Magufuli believes the pandemic has been greatly exaggerated and is being used by unnamed forces to sabotage the economy. The president has questioned, even fired health officials and refused to limit people's movements. And he has claimed his son was healed of COVID-19 by drinking a mixture of ginger and lemonade. The U.S. Embassy last month released a security alert asserting that hospitals in the commercial capital, Dar es Salaam, were overwhelmed with virus patients. Opposition politician Zito Kabwe later asserted that Magufuli had decongested hospitals in an effort to show a low number of infections. Brazil has restored a website that lists the full data on COVID-19 in the country just hours after it was ordered to do so by the Supreme Court. The health ministry stopped releasing cumulative totals for the deaths and cases on Saturday, provoking uproar. On Tuesday, a Supreme Court judge ordered the government to release the figures amid accusations of censorship. Brazil has the world's second highest number of cases and has now more daily deaths than any other nation. Earlier, President Jair Bolsonaro said the change in policy was a result of actions being taken to improve COVID-19 reporting. Critics accused the far-right president's government of data manipulation, with Brazil's National Council of State Health Secretaries describing the move as authoritarian, insensitive, inhuman, and unethical. Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes told the ministry to fully re-establish the publication of COVID-19 data in the interests of public health. Brazil has the world's second highest number of cases with 700,000 infections. But because of insufficient testing, the number is believed to be much higher. More than 37,000 people have died, the third highest toll in the world. They criticized President Bolsonaro of his handling of the pandemic, during which he has opposed lockdown measures and downplayed the virus as a little flu. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.